Okay, so we are live at the Tokyo Olympics. We're heading into the dining commons to see what are the best foods that they have here for strength athletes to eat early in the morning, and what does it look like. Okay, so we are here at the Olympics dining commons here in Tokyo, and we're going to give you the top 5 foods that you can use as a strength athlete. And the top 5 that I see is all the strength athletes here at the Olympics are eating. And that number 5 food that we're going to talk about is going to be easily that I see every single strength athlete chowing down on. It's going to be rice. Okay, so we got white rice, we've got Spanish rice, they've got, I see like 4 different kinds of rice. So one of the reasons why I think it's really important for strength athletes to consume rice is because it's easy to digest, it's easy access to energy, it also mixes well with a lot of food, so it does add a decent amount of good positive flavor, or good flavor in general. And one of the big things too is that if you can pack it and you can go on the go. So you'll see a lot of guys here at the Olympics, maybe they have to go to a training session and they're in a little bit of a rush, so what they end up doing is they're going to pack that rice in a large container or anything along those lines, and it's just going to be added calories throughout the day. So if you have 1 to 2 full cups of uncooked rice is going to get you close to 700 to 1,000 calories, and that's going to help you replenish your glycogen. And you do that once or twice a day. Now all of a sudden you're getting a large amount of carbohydrates in there, so you feel nice and refreshed during your training session. You feel nice and energized, and if you tend to hold a little bit more mass, if you're a bigger guy like a shot putter or a rugby player, anything along those lines, especially with the heat here in Tokyo and the humidity, rice is amazing. So that number 5 food for strength athletes here at the Olympic Village is rice. Okay, coming at that number 4 spot, that next best food, and this is a food that might get a little bit of controversy, is something that I put in here right next to my rice, is going to be eggs. Okay, so I've seen a lot of the shot putters, a lot of the rugby players in here piling eggs on their plates, and some people might be allergic to eggs. So if you are allergic to eggs, I would try and find a replacement. Maybe something that you could replace eggs with would be a simple protein powder, or a simple protein like hamburger, or anything along those lines. But eggs, because of the whole fat in it, there's a large amount of vitamin A, there's a large amount of vitamin E in there, especially if you're getting some pasture-raised eggs. I highly doubt these eggs are pasture-raised, but you can get eggs in the morning for breakfast. You're going to feel satiated, you're going to feel good, and you could even have that. Some guys I've seen have eggs with their rice, so you can have that mixed together, and you're going to have a large amount of sustenance, and you're going to feel really good as a strength athlete. And because there's about 8 grams of protein, or 6 to 8 grams of protein per egg, now you have 4 or 5 of those in the morning as an omelet or anything along those lines, and you're going to feel really good from a recovery perspective. Okay, that 3rd best food for strength athletes, and this is something that I found to be very unique, and I was talking to a couple different athletes here, is what we have here. We actually have some rice with some curry. Okay, so inside the curry, I found that a lot of these guys and a lot of these women, what they're doing is they like to have the curry because there's curcumin in it, there might be or turmeric, so there's going to be some compounds that are going to be anti-inflammatory. So you can actually consume some food that is anti-inflammatory, and you can still get your good training in, and it's going to add some really good flavor, and that's where the curry comes in. And here in Tokyo, there's a Japanese curry, there's a halal curry that they're selling, so it's a little bit more Middle Eastern, and then there's also an Indian curry. So there's like 3 different types of curry, and all of them are going to have similar compounds in there, with turmeric being utilized. It's going to add some flavor, and it's going to add that anti-inflammatory aspect that might help you deal with your hard, heavy training. So if you're smacking a lot of weights, or you're throwing a lot, or you're running a lot, you're hitting guys, your shoulders are getting banged up, this could, in theory, help with that overall recovery. Okay, for all the strength athletes, coming at that number 2 spot, I like recommending tuna or smoked salmon. And one of the things here at the village is that there's smoked salmon every single day, not at breakfast, and I'm here at breakfast right now, so not at breakfast, but every single meal there's smoked salmon, and it's raw smoked salmon. And I believe if you like fish, the salmon that they have here is really good. Obviously you want to source your fish from a good place. You want to make sure that it's sustainably harvested, and it's hopefully going to be wild. But I believe wholeheartedly that if you're consuming tuna or salmon or hockey here at the Village, you're going to be getting a ton of protein in, and when you're getting a lot more protein, now that frees up, okay, tuna's a little bit leaner, salmon's a little bit leaner, hake's a little bit leaner, but now we can have a large amount of protein from there, because one serving might have 20 to 30 grams of protein. Now we add in those fats that we're getting from our eggs, or the fats that we're potentially getting from, this is a little bonus, from our granola and our yogurt, and now we're getting a little bit more fat from those, and now all of a sudden you're getting a ton of protein, you're getting good fats from your eggs, you're getting good fats from, if you can tolerate milk, and then you're getting a ton of carbohydrates from your rice. That's going to really lead to a good balanced diet. It's going to help you recover, and if you have that curry in there, now you've got that extra anti-inflammatory aspect. And then finally, that number one bonus for all strength athletes, of course, has to be the red eye. Okay, so what is the red eye? I showed myself making an espresso, taking that espresso, covering that, filling that up with some coffee. That's what a red eye is. So now we got 2 shots of espresso in there. We've got our coffee on top of that. I like to put my creamer in there, add a little bit of fat, add a little bit of flavor too. It's absolutely phenomenal. So why do I like to have a red eye? Why do I like to have caffeine in general? If you're a strength athlete, you have to be focusing on power output. You have to be focusing on tolerating a little bit of discomfort, and you have to be focusing on igniting your nervous system as rapidly as possible. And that's exactly what you're going to get from that red eye because of the caffeine content. There's going to be about 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine in that, and that's going to really, really improve the way that you go out, and that your focus, your mental acuity is going to be a little bit greater, and that's going to help you perform a lot better. So let's go back over this. We've got our rice for our carbohydrates, we've got our eggs for our fat and our protein, we've got our curry for our anti-inflammatory aspect, we've got tuna, hake, or smoked salmon for a large amount of lean protein, and then that, to top it off, you get that red eye. That's going to stimulate your nervous system, that's going to help you really stay focused while you're training, and that's going to help you smash big time performances while you're here competing at the Olympic Village. Or maybe you're back home, you're trying to train for something serious. Use those 5 key foods to help you improve as a strength athlete. If you need help with nutrition, click on the link down below, head over to garagestrength.com. You can pick up a high performance nutrition program live from the Tokyo Olympics. Peace.